So what is up guys, Nick here helping you to master your technology. This is the iPhone 6s and it's running iOS 13.1 and I want to talk about in this video if it's still a fast phone because this phone is going to be 4 years old in just about a week. September 9th, 2015 is when the A9 iPhone 6s was announced, and really it's pretty incredible that this phone is still usable 4 years later. As a matter of fact, it seems like with every iteration, 5S, 6S, 7, 8, I mean every time they upgrade the phone, the processor gets better and better, and the iPhones are seeming to last longer and longer because I'm going to tell you this one's pretty good. So let's go ahead and get on with a few speed tests and we're going to see how fast this thing really is in 2019. Also, I want to mention that in this test, you're going to see my battery drain rather quickly, likely because I only have 83% capacity on the iPhone 6s right here. So don't think that it's iOS 13.1 that's causing this drain. It's actually because I have a pretty low battery capacity for this 6s. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a boot up test. Now, I tested my XS Max yesterday. It boots up in about 22 seconds. So let's see how fast this 4-year-old phone can boot up on 13.1. 3, 2, 1. And wow, 19.25 seconds. It's actually booted up faster than my XS Max, which is pretty insane. It might be because it doesn't have as many apps loaded. I don't know, maybe it's the 13 that's a little quicker to boot, but 19.25 seconds. That's insanely fast here for iPhone 6s being this old of a device. Okay guys, so I have all the applications closed out here, and let's go through these applications to show you that the 6s performs pretty well still, even though it's this age. The A9 was really a breakthrough processor, I think, for Apple, giving them some pretty nice performance. And at the same age, the 5S at 4 years was nowhere near as smooth as this iPhone 6s is at its 4-year mark. So what this means is I think that Apple's iPhones are actually getting a little bit better at lasting longer. As long as they don't purposely slow them down, these phones' processors are getting even more longevity, I think, because look at this 6s. I mean, this is incredible for the age, and it probably has a lot to do with Apple improving the animation speeds for iOS 13 as well. But really, I'm very impressed with this performance, and honestly, I could see why a lot of people are like, the iPhone 6s, the SE, they're still a great value, because if you really look at how this thing's performance is, it's just really pretty impressive. And this is not me just being biased, it's because I use multiple phones, and I would tell you straight up, this thing is slow. I've told you in the past, the iPhone 6, don't buy that thing because it's slow. The 6s is the better choice, and it holds true to this day. Even gaming is just fine for this phone. Now, like again, you have a smaller battery, so you're going to go ahead and drain a lot more battery on this phone, and it does heat up a little. It doesn't have better, it doesn't stay as cool as some of the newer phones. So processor not quite as efficient, but it's still a very quick processor here 4 years later, which you just seen right there. Now, only 2 gigabytes of RAM, you would think that it's not going to be able to open all these applications back up, but you would be wrong because a lot of them still stay open in the background. If we go into Video Shop, you could see there's not too much of a RAM management issue. That reloaded right there. There's not too much of a RAM management issue for iPhone 6s. So even with 2 gigabytes of RAM, this just shows the efficiency of iOS. It's still decent. That right there, that paused a little bit, but it's still decent. I mean, I could get by with this right now. So you've seen right there a little bit of RAM management and multitasking. Now, this camera still has 4K video. Of course, this is not the best 4K you can get on a phone anymore. I mean, the dynamic range is just not there in comparison to the newer phones, and its HDR is not as good, but still, you can do it. I'm gonna take a quick 4K video, and then I'm gonna render it out in 2 different video applications so you can see rendering performance on a 6s 13.1, and that'll tell you if it's still quite quick as well. Okay guys, so you see I have this 4K video up here. This is a 30-second video. I didn't want to make it too long, so the render is not too long. But if we hit done here, and I hit save, and then I go to save video, we're gonna save this in 4K, and you could just see the export times. So there it is right there. And so far, I'm pretty impressed with this export time. Like, you would think this would be really slow at this point, not so much. So Again, using a 6S in 2019, you're not like gonna be like super behind in performance. I'm just not seeing it. So to answer that question, is it still fast? Well, what do you guys think? Because I think it's pretty fast still. I wouldn't say it's blazing fast, like it's not right through the export times, but still, I mean, this is not bad. This is 4K. Remember, this is Apple A9. This is 2 GB of RAM. This is their processor from years ago. And there we go, we're done. So if you made a little home video, you're good to go. So we're in Video Shop now. We have this one video, the same video. Let's go ahead and import it and see how it does with the import times. And you see it's doing pretty well right there. So again, this is showing that this phone is plenty competent when it comes to even more than just your regular daily usage. You can even do some video stuff in here in 2019 and it's still relatively powerful. So in this one, we're gonna save it in 1080p just to see how fast it does render in 1080p. It lets it save to camera roll. And you can see saving video right there. And look at it just go. I mean, are you not impressed by that for a 4-year-old phone? Because I'm decently impressed. Now, of course, the design on this phone is rather old, but this is not a video discussing its design. This is just talking about, is it still fast? So let's see how fast you can launch the camera and take a photo. There you go. That shutter speed doesn't look quite as quick as the newer phones. You can actually see that as a slower performance compared to newer phones, but it's not lagging, it's not stuttering, it's just slightly slower, but still usable. So definitely usable here in 13 for 6S. Let's go ahead and check the 3D touch times, and you can see not bad at all. Pretty snappy to open this up. So let's go ahead and hold down, and there you go, not bad. Now let's go into this notes taking application and let's just type out a couple sentences. Hey, this is the iPhone 6S and it is still a pretty fast device. So you can see the typing speed is still good, and also you're not seeing any lag. You are not seeing let's do seeing here. Seeing any lag on the iPhone 6S on either the quick path keyboard or the regular typing. So again, still good performance. So I'm not even gonna run a Geekbench in this video. We'll do that in a speed test, but these are never conclusive anyway. You see that the iPhone 6S doesn't stutter, it doesn't lag, and I just gotta say, I'm just very impressed because after 4 years, my 5S was just kind of trash in performance. The 6 wasn't that good either, but this A9 CPU was really the turning point, I think, for Apple CPUs remaining fast for a long time. And I don't even see this slowing down next year either. I mean, it's really hard to slow this phone down. So overall, if you're gonna buy or snab a 6S at 200, 300 bucks, use something like that, or just a cheaper price, maybe 150, you find that somebody's handing it off to you, you can rest assured that at least in terms of the performance, it's gonna be good, and it's gonna even be even better with iOS 13, which increases the animation times of these applications. So I'm very happy with the performance, and to answer your question, yes, this phone is still fast. If you guys got an iPhone 6S, please consider sharing your experience with the community if you've tried out 13 or a 6S Plus, or maybe if you have a phone like the 7 or 7 Plus, let us know that one as well. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you think this is still a decent deal, like a great value, like an old, cheaper, great value? Because I think it is quite a good value. Let us know down below in the comment section of this video. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more, and make sure you turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any of my upcoming updates. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to be well, and peace.